Hello and welcome back to Old Charles, the show where we dig into the stories and values hidden in our pockets. Today, we're tackling a question I get asked all the time. Alex, I found this old 10p coin from 1974. Is it worth a fortune? Well, I'm not going to keep you in suspense. The short answer is, probably not. But, and it's a very big but, the long answer is a fascinating journey through British history, a monumental coin design, and a few rare exceptions that could indeed make that 1974 10p very, very valuable. So, if you have one of these, don't throw it back in the jar just yet. Let's find out exactly what you've got. To understand the value of any coin, we need to understand its context. And the 1974 10p piece is a coin of immense historical significance. You see, before 1968, Britain's currency system was complicated. We had pounds, shillings, and pence. 12 pence to a shilling, 20 shillings to a pound. It was a nightmare. Then, in 1971, the UK finally decimalized. We moved to the simple system we know today, 100 new pence to the pound. The 10p coin was a key part of this change. It was designed to be the direct replacement for the old florin, or 2-shilling piece. The coin we're looking at today, the 1974 issue, was one of the early soldiers in this new decimal army. Now, let's get up close and personal with the design, because this is where most of the value lies. This isn't just any design, this is the original, the classic, the bold head or Britannia 10p on the obverse. The head's side, we have the magnificent portrait of Queen Elizabeth II by Arnold Machin. It's a young, graceful portrait that defined British coinage for decades. You'll see the inscription, Elizabeth II D.G.Reg.F.D, which stands for, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. Seated beside a lion, holding a trident and an olive branch, with a shield bearing the Union Jack. She is the personification of Britain, a symbol that had been on our coinage for centuries. This design, by Christopher Ironside, is a piece of art. And it's this very design that makes the 1974 10p so beloved by collectors. You see, this large, Britannia 10p was in circulation from 1968 all the way until 1992. That's a 24-year run. But in 1992, it was replaced by a smaller, lighter version, and the Britannia design was eventually retired. So, for many, this coin is a heavy, tangible piece of nostalgia. Okay, history lesson over. Let's talk brass tacks and cold, hard cash. You want to know, what is my 1974 10p coin worth? Category 1, the well-circulated coin. This is the coin you're most likely to find. It's been in pockets, purses, and vending machines since the 70s. It has scratches, it's lost its luster, the details are worn down. For a coin like this, the value is essentially, face value. 10 pence. Maybe 20 to 50 pence if you find the right collector who just needs a coin to fill a spot in their album. But in reality, it's monetary value. Brilliant uncirculated, BU, coin, ***. This is a coin that was struck at the mint, put directly into a collector's set or a bank bag, and never saw the inside of a jeans pocket. It has its original mint luster, no scratches or contact marks. Now we're talking. A 1974 10p in brilliant uncirculated condition can be worth anywhere from £2 to £5, sometimes a little more. Why? Because collectors want the best examples, and a pristine piece of history from the early decimal era is always desirable. But how do you know if yours is BU? Look for that cartwheel shine. Tilted in the light, it should have a bright, reflective, almost fiery surface with razor-sharp details. And now, Category 3, the errors and the varieties. This is where the magic happens. This is where a 10p coin can be worth hundreds, even thousands of pounds. A camule is a coin struck from two dies that were never intended to be paired together. For the 1974 10p, there is a famous and incredibly valuable error. It's a coin that has the obverse of a 10p, but the reverse of a 2 new pence coin. That's right. You'd have a coin the size of a 10p, with the Queen's head on one side, and the Prince of Wales' feathers from the 2p on the other. This is a legendary error, and if you have a genuine one, you are looking at a value of £1000 to £2000 or more. They are exceptionally rare. Less dramatic than a mule, but still valuable, are significant striking errors. A die clash happens when the obverse and reverse dies hit each other without a blank planchet in between, leaving a ghostly impression of one design on the other side that in 1974 10p with a strong, clear die clash could be worth £20 to £50 to an error collector. Other errors, like off-center strikes or broad strikes, can also command a premium, but here's a crucial piece of information for the 1974 10p. Look at the edge. It's smooth. Unlike modern 10p coins, this one has no milling. This is normal. Don't get excited thinking a smooth edge is an error. It's not. Examine it carefully, ***, get a magnifying glass or use your phone's macro mode. Look for any oddities. Does the reverse look like Britannia, or does it have feathers? Are there weird, ghostly images impressed on the surface? The 1974 10p Britannia coin is, for most people, not a life-changing find. But its value goes far beyond its price tag. It's a relic from a pivotal moment in British history. It's a beautiful, hefty piece of coinage that we simply don't see anymore. It represents the end of an old system and the beginning of a new one. Therefore, £1 equals 240 pence, this system was cumbersome for calculation and commerce. Key coins in this system included the florin, 2 shillings, or 24 pence, the shilling, 12 pence, and the sixpence, 6 pence. The movement for decimalization had been debated for over a century, but it gained serious momentum in the 1960s. In 1966, the Chancellor of the Exchequer, James Callaghan, officially announced that Britain would decimalize its currency. The plan was to introduce a new system where £1 equals 100 new pence, ***. This was a revolutionary change that required a massive public education campaign and the minting of an entirely new set of coins. To ease the transition, the Royal Mint introduced the first decimal coins alongside the old ones in 1968. The first were the 5p and 10p coins. They were intentionally made the same size and value as the shilling and the florin, respectively. The 10p coin, introduced 1968, ***, was the direct decimal replacement for the florin, 2 shillings. They circulated together for several years. This meant that when the 1974 10p coin was minted, it was part of a coinage system that was still relatively new, having been fully in place for only 3 years since Decimal Day, D-Day, on February 15, 1971. Obverse, heads the iconic portrait of a young Queen Elizabeth II by Arnold Machin. This portrait is one of the most reproduced works of art in history. Reverse, tails ***, the stunning Britannia design by Christopher Ironside. She is seated beside a lion, holding a trident and an olive branch, with a shield bearing the Union Jack. This design linked the new decimal coinage to centuries of British numismatic tradition, as Britannia had appeared on coins since the Roman era and more consistently since 1672. Britain was in the midst of the ***, 3-day week ***, January-February 1974, due to an energy crisis and minor strikes. It was a year of 2 general elections, February and October. High inflation was beginning to bite, a factor that would eventually lead to the smaller, cheaper 10p coin in 1992. The large 10p coin circulated from 1968 until 1992. Its end was driven by 2 main factors. 1. Economics of metal ***. The rising cost of cupronickel made the large, heavy coin expensive to produce. 2. Practicality ***. The vending machine industry was expanding, and a smaller, lighter coin was more efficient. Furthermore, the new, smaller 5p coin, replacing the shilling, had been introduced in 1990, creating a need for a smaller 10p for proportional sizing. In 1992, a new, smaller 10p coin was introduced. The large 10p, including the 1974 issue, was demonetized and ceased to be legal tender on 30 June 1993. At the dawn of a new era, it was a key coin from the early years of Britain's decimal system. A design bridge, it carried the ancient symbol of Britannia into the modern age. A tangible memory ***, for those who lived through the change. It is a heavy, Solid reminder of a pivotal moment in British life, the condition of a coin is the single most important factor in determining its value to a collector. For a common coin like the 1974 10p, the difference between a worn-out piece and a pristine one can be the difference between 10 pence and several pounds. The design is razor-sharp with full details. It may still have some